Hi, we got a question here from Joey Rodriguez. How long does it take you to get the sound right for your sessions? And how do you know when you have the perfect take? Here's my thoughts on that. As a studio owner for all these years, at one point we had 18 rooms. I've watched people spend 2 days getting a drum sound. And that's something that I've never had time for. Even though I'm a perfectionist, I really like things to sound perfect. Generally speaking, most of my sounds happen before the musicians walk in the door. And of course, I've been doing it for a long time. So I generally have a pretty good eye concept of the musician I'm recording is most of the time somebody I've recorded before. I have a pretty good of how they play. And so when the drums come before the session, I'll go out and I'll play the drums, I'll look at it, I'll listen to it, I'll set all my mics up, I'll put the headphones on, and I'll listen to it, and I will adjust accordingly. So what I really want, I'll have every EQ set and everything ready to go. Now, invariably, I'm not going to play like a drummer plays, but I can get close enough that when they walk in the door and they put the headphones on, it's going to sound like a finished record in their phones. And so usually, it's not EQ changes per se, it's only level changes. Maybe I'm going to bring things down a little bit because they're playing a little harder or whatever else. But generally speaking, all my EQs and everything are set. So I tend to be pretty expeditious in getting things done. Also, I find that I'm always concerned, especially if I'm producing something, I don't want to waste the musician's time getting sounds. I mean, I should have that together very quickly. So if I'm getting a guitar sound or a bass sound, usually I'm going to get it in, it's going to take me a couple minutes to get the sound I want. And I guess that just comes from having done it for so many years. What I find once again is that if I've done my homework and everything is together before the musicians walk in, usually they walk in and we could start recording almost immediately. One of the issues I have, it's kind of funny, is that now that everybody's got their own headphone mixers, some musicians aren't the greatest headphone mix balancers. So I always send them a 2-channel mix of my mix. And so if they're messing with the faders, they can't get a sound, I said, well, just go on channels 1 and 2. It's my stereo mix. And generally speaking, my stereo mix has got, the right verbs and all. It sounds pretty slick. And so a lot of musicians will just go to my stereo mix and call it a day. It makes life easy. So that's another thing, because if they're hearing really well, I'll get a much better performance out of them. So I'm really always concerned that they're hearing the right thing in the phones. And once again, that I'm getting a sound that's big and fun and punchy. And my joy comes in when they come in for the playback. I want them to go, that's ridiculous. And when they do that, I'm thrilled. That's what I live for. I live for the playback and them walking in and saying, we really hit it. This is great. In regards to takes, we do 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, whatever takes we do. I always take notes as I'm listening to this. If there's any moments where a take is really happening, where I see something that, God, they really nailed that chorus, and then the next take, but maybe they lost it in the third take, it's not the same. And so a lot of times what I'll do is maybe I've done 1 or 2 takes or 3 takes, and I'll bring the players in, I'll say, hey, I'll wind back, look what you did here, right here at the bridge, the edge of the bridge is just perfect, and then I love the fill going into the beginning of this verse. And so I'll try to keep all the high points. So when they come in, I'll say, these are all the things that I think are really, really great. Let's see if we can do a take that incorporates all that. So we go out, we'll do a couple more passes. If I think we've nailed it, that's fine. If not, I might go back and edit. I might go and pick the best spots, put them together, have the players come in and listen to it and see what we think is the best take. You never know. I was doing an album years ago with this band Little Village. I was recording at my friend Ray Cooder's house, actually. And the band members, I think it was John Hyatt and Nick Lowe and Ry Cooder and John Hyatt, Nick Lowe, Ry Cooder, and Jim Keltner. And they really weren't getting along very well, so we would do takes, and then the band would we do multiple takes, and then the band would just go into their various corners, and it was very hard to consensus. So I would go and I'd listen to everything, and I'd edit a take together, and this is with analog tape. I'd cut all the pieces together and make a finished take. They come in and listen to it, and hopefully we had it, and most of the time we did. So, there's different levels of what's required if you're producing or just engineering, or you're even a musician participating in the project. I hope that's been some help. Also, if you have a chance, please subscribe to our new YouTube video channel. I'm going to answer a ton of questions. Thanks.